Welcome to this week's edition of Black Authors Matter TV, where we interview the latest movers and shakers in the African American literary community. You'll meet some old friends, discover new ones, and stay abreast of the latest book developments around the country and even the world. So sit back and relax for the next 2 hours with Black Authors Matter TV co-hosts Gwen Richardson and Dr. Rhonda Lawson.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Black Authors Matter TV. I'm Gwen Richardson, your host for tonight, and my co-host Dr. Rhonda will be on shortly. Before we bring on our first guest, I wanted to make you all aware of our Black Authors Matter TV awards. The voting among the finalists is ongoing. It started on the 14th. It ends on the 28th, which is next Tuesday at midnight. We've already gotten over 1,300 ballots, so people are really voting. And we're looking forward to an exciting night on May 12th when we have our actual award show. Also, the National Black Book Festival registration is still open. We're at standard registration now. We're about 75% full in terms of vendor space. So if you do plan to participate, don't procrastinate. And finally, our Black Authors Matter Children's Book Awards. That process is ongoing, and it ends the first week of June. I forgot the exact date, but you still have time to submit your books if you'd like to participate in that. And Dr. Rhonda's on. So hi, Rhonda. So we're going to be bringing on our first guest, and we have people joining us from, a lot of times we have people from coast to coast, but tonight we had that also. Our first guest is from Arizona. I think our second guest is in California. So I'm in Houston. Rhonda's in the DMV. So
it's daylight where they are.
Yeah, it's daylight here. Yeah, I think you froze, Rhonda.
It's nighttime where I am.
Oh, it's still daylight here because we have another hour of daylight. Well, 45 minutes. And so you're freezing up though. I don't know. It's like a pause. I don't know if it's your internet connection, but you're like frozen right now. But I'm going to go ahead and bring on the first guest, and we'll have to make it work, or you might have to log out and log back in. So our first guest is joining us from Arizona, and she's one of the authors with She Publishing. And I don't want to mess her name up. Is it Omia or Omia?
I can't hear you guys. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. You can't hear us?
Oh, right.
But I can hear you perfectly.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I just can't hear you.
You can't hear us? Now I don't know what would cause that. Can you hear me
I can
now?
hear you.
Oh,
yes.
Good.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, welcome to Black Authors Matter TV.
Well, thank you. Hi.
Now, Rhonda, now you're not frozen. I think you're okay now, because you were freezing up really
can you
bad.
hear me okay?
Yeah. We can hear. I can hear you,
Okay.
but you were freezing at first, and I think it's still like disjointed, a little, like a second delay or something. But anyway, you're moving and I can hear you. So that's what we want. So anyway, now did you say your name was Omia or Omia? Omia. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And I was surprised you said you have 3 grandchildren.
I have 3 grandchildren. I have 5 children. Yes.
Yeah, well, black don't crack, because I would have never guessed that.
Stop playing, Omia.
No, I have 5. My oldest daughter she just turned 30 on the 10th of October.
Oh.
I'm sorry, on the 10th of April. I'm saying October.
Okay. Oh, Okay. Well, and you have 5 children, and I'm sure your children are a motivation for you in writing some of your work
Yes.
because
Yeah.
our children can be great motivators. So you're joining us from Arizona. Was it Phoenix that you're in?
I live in Buckeye, but everybody know Arizona for Phoenix. But I live in a small town called Buckeye.
Buckeye. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I drove through Arizona a few years back on a road trip from Houston to California and back. So we
Okay.
went through the northern part, the southern part of Arizona first on I-10, and then
Wow.
we
Yeah.
went through the northern part on the way back on I-40. I think it was 40
Hmm.
coming back.
Yes. That 10 is that 10 is crazy.
Yeah, but it's a
Yes.
beautiful state. It's a lot of different topography. The mountains are totally different than the mountains other places.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
the desert is the desert with the cactuses and all of that.
Yeah.
So we went through the desert, but it was beautiful. And we had, I actually have a longtime friend that I've known for decades that I hadn't seen in decades, and she lived in Tucson. So we were able to stop, and I hadn't seen her in, I think it had been like 25 years since I had seen
Wow.
her. So I was
I
able.
can definitely say it's different. I'm originally from Chicago. I've been there my entire life. So I've only
Oh,
been living here for 3 years. Yeah. And
oh, okay. Yeah, that's way different from Chicago.
total difference. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
But
air is
I like it.
clear.
Yeah.
But we were
There's
when we were driving, we were like the whole trip, we were like, because I was driving and
uh,
I said, this was on the way back from California. So, because we stopped, we didn't drive long each day, but I
mhm.
said out loud, we've had really good weather on this trip. And then an hour later, it was like a monsoon,
Oh, yes.
where the
Yeah.
sky just got totally black and we could see it ahead, like we were driving towards it.
Hmm.
And then it started hailing before it started raining. I just pulled over because I couldn't see.
You can't see through
Can't
that.
keep
I only
driving.
experienced it once since I've been here, only one time, and it was horrible that one time. And it only had lasted maybe where I was able to drive maybe 10 minutes, but it was
Right.
scary because I had never
It,
experienced that before.
yeah, it's scary, but it lasts like 10 minutes and it's over.
Hmm.
And the car that was a car passed us after we had pulled over. Like they kept going. And when
Wow.
we started back going, they were in the ditch. They they had
Whoa.
they had had an accident. It wasn't, they didn't turn over, but you can't drive through that. So anyway, that's just my trip to Arizona. That was my one time in Arizona. Well, other than like being in the airport, like on a
Like a
getting air.
layover.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but that was
Hmm.
my one time in Arizona. It was
Wow.
beautiful.
I go to Arizona quite a bit. My dad lives in Arizona. He lives in
Really?
Tucson, actually.
Okay, so
Okay.
that's where we went.
So Tucson is about an hour
About an
and a
hour, yeah.
half. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'll actually be in Phoenix in July.
What's going on down here?
Like what?
What's going on down here that I don't know about?
Well, my book, Surprise Swipe Right, it's a romantic comedy. It won
Okay.
an International Impact Award. And the thank you. And
Yes.
the gala is going to be in Phoenix. So I'll be flying to Phoenix for the gala.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
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 Yeah,
Congratulations.
I didn't know about the gala. I knew about the award. We had already talked about that, but I didn't know there was a gala. So, did they give you the list of all the other winners? Do you know who else won too?
Um, I don't know those people.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was somebody we knew. Somebody maybe had been on the show or before or
Well, you know
something.
what? You know what? I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna look at the list again. I
Okay.
just kind of scanned it, and I didn't see a lot of names that I recognized, but I was not looking in all the categories. So I'm gonna be fair,
No,
and I'm
I
gonna look
understand
at,
that. Because when
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
won,
look into other categories and I'm
yeah,
gonna see if I recognize any names.
yeah. When I was on lists like they're nominated and stuff, I didn't look at. I was so excited about me. I didn't
Yeah, I was
really.
being real selfish.
I didn't really look. And then I think I looked later. I was just
Let me see where I'm at first.
Exactly.
yeah. Then, like you just in like a euphoric state. And then, you say, well, let me look, a few days later, let me look and see who else might, I'm finding out
Right.
these other people.
Yeah.
But that's how that is. So anyway, I already forgot. It's Omia.
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 I know it's weird.
I
No,
just
it's not weird.
it's not. It's just, I had Omaya in my mind already. And so I had to restructure my mind that it's Omia. That's all.
Omia.
Because I
Omia
try to pronounce everybody's name before, especially if it's an unusual name. I try to, take a stab at it before the show. And so then I get that in my mind, and then I have to
But
revote.
everybody says that it's Omaya. I guess I don't know, and I don't use the little hyphen
The
at the top.
apostrophe.
I just dropped that a long time ago. But yeah, so they just pronounce it Omaya too. I'm like, no, it's Omia.
It's Omia. Okay. Well, now your new book is called Dr. Peabody, and I see it behind you.
Yes.
So what is that about?
Yes. Okay, Dr. Peabody is the first book in the Deception Diaries series. I'm so excited about this book. When I read it over and over because I'm just at awe of it. But it's about a successful Black doctor whose past refused to let her go.
Ooh,
She experienced
I like
something
that.
horrible. She experiences something horrible as a child. She never got the proper help or she never healed from anything. So she decides to go off to college and make a life for herself, thinking she can, forget about those things and it'll go away. Well, she comes back. She goes to college. She comes back and open up her very own clinic. She becomes this huge, successful doctor, names in the medical journals. She was doing good things. And because her life was going so well, she thought, okay, I don't have to worry about those tragic issues in the past. Well, she ended up getting a call from a friend of hers, and that friend of hers was a trigger. She decides to take matters in her own hands. She created this serum that was supposed to help someone end up hurting folks, and she paid a huge price for it. Um, it gets deeper and deeper as you read into it. It's basically a good girl who did something bad, but she thought she was helping and saving someone. And it's all because of the past she had. She had no one to help her. So she thought she was helping her friend and she ended up losing everything because of it.
Hmm. I was just thinking about what you said about a good girl who did something bad. That's like I don't think it's a trope, but I guess it could be a trope. But a lot of, when you do come up with a storyline, there are the, good girl gone bad or a good guy gone bad or a bad person gone worse.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's you can decide how you want to make your character develop throughout the story.
Yes, I try to write in a way. Normally, you read your book and the book is, the main character is always a superstar. Well, I kind of write a little different, because everybody, like I say, you start off good, but it don't end up that way. Like there's things that happen in your life, then you got to make a choice, and it's not always good or bad. It's might badder, things like that. And so that's my writing style. I try to give it a little twist. The end just shocks everybody. I sit and smile and I reread my reviews that I get from the book on how it seemed like everybody came up with the same at the end, and it just made my heart smile because the reaction I was getting from my readers I actually got, and so I'm like pat myself. I'm really excited and proud about it. And then they'll say, "So what happened in part 2? When is part 2 coming out?" And I released this book in 2025. So part 2 of Dr. Peabody will be out 2027.
Okay. Now, how did you get connected with She Publishing? I know you're from Chicago, and that's where Shanita is, but tell
Wow.
us about how you ended up under their umbrella.
If I had like 2 hours, boy, so I can just go there. But to sum it up, um, I would say delayed doesn't mean deny. I met Shanita through my very first no. I've been writing since I was a child. When I say writing, since I was like 7, I didn't know how to spell. So all of my books was in my brain. And it wasn't until I got to like age 9 when I started to write those things out because I had a lot going on. Being the only child, I was left with nothing but me and creativity. And so I would write and write and write. And um, things happened in my childhood and where I just thought like, nothing, I wouldn't really become anything. Um, and I had a good friend that pushed me and say, hey, release, release your work. So I ended up doing that with a family member who had a publishing company. And I got my very first no. With that no, instead of taking that no and saying not right now, I took that no and was like, I'm going to go to the next publishing company. I'm going to show you. Like it was more of a payback. And I believe God was saying that ain't what I got you here for. I didn't give you all this creativity as a payback. And so I called Shanita, 2011. I said I need a publisher, but God had orchestration back there. He didn't let that go through. So I didn't get that book published. And as a matter of fact, that same book is on my shelf right now. I had done nothing with it. Fast forward, years go by, and I go into this black hole. I just went to a dark place, and I heard God tell me, you need to shut off the noise. I shut off the noise for a year. I went without social media. I didn't talk to anyone. I need to truly hear from him because I went to a dark place in my life and came out of it and decided to write. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna post this book, and it's gonna be nobody but God. And I believe He did that because He gets the glory, nobody else. So I wrote that book and I called Shanita, and I'm thinking I'm gonna expect 1-800 or some automated thing person that called and answer the phone. So I get up early that morning. I left her message, text, and I'm waiting for like an assistant to call. And I go out that morning. I'm talking to God because when I say I was in a dark place, I was in an ugly, dark place. And I'm like, God, if it's meant for me, it's gonna come. I'm waiting. I'm no longer pushing it. And a text come through, and it's Shanita, and I'm shocked and I'm crying. I'm like, usually business, they don't text you directly. They got their assistants doing it. She was personal. She was caring. She was loving. At the end of that call, we both was crying. And I said, God, I know where I'm supposed to be. I'm listening. Because now I figured I had to listen. I shut the noise out and I listened. I got it done. And I've been with her ever since. So I love Shanita.
Yeah, well, we love her too. She's a great friend of of ours and of the show and of the National Black Book Festival. And I can't even remember exactly how I got connected with Shanita. I don't even remember, but it's been some years now. So I
Yeah.
just don't remember the first encounter. I don't remember how that happened. But when you meet a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
it's not necessarily easy to remember how you met all the people.
Yep.
And I've met so many people over the years because just the work I do in the festival. And people will come up to me, yeah, I remember when you did this and now you were so helpful. And I'm like, I do not remember any of this. But but at least it was positive. I try to leave everybody with a positive, impression. Just when you're writing, you need to be encouraged, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And if even if it's critical, it can be
Yes.
it still be encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about how you receive it.
There you go. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you also are doing a journal and some other motivational writing.
Yes. So because of that black hole, um, I write all the time. Just I got like a million journals in my bedroom on the top shelf, and I write all the time. And so I buy a book after book after book, and I'm like, I just don't. I just haven't saw the right journal. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna create my own journal, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna call it "Girl Get Up." because that's exactly what I had to tell myself. I had to tell myself to get up out that funk. He didn't bring it this far. You got a lot to give. You got a lot to share. And even though it was your grandma that said you'll never be anything, you don't have to
Mm.
show anything. God gets all the glory. And so I call this a journal, Girl Get Up, because I want everybody to know you're gonna fall, but you'll get up. But you have to get up. Don't stay in that funk. I tell my girls all the time when they go through their little spurts with boys, I say, I'm gonna let you cry tonight, but if God wake you up with breath, then I want you to get out of it and stop crying. They know that for me. And so this is like an all-in-one journal. Oftentimes journals just all paper, or it's little prompts with this much space to write. I am a writer. This book gives you the space to write. It gives you
Whoa.
action prompts, because sometimes you don't know where to start. You don't know what do I write. I give you journal prompts. I give you scripture to go to when you're in a funk, when you're happy, when you're sad, when you need them. There's scripture. There's a spot in my journal where it allows you to write a letter to yourself, your future self. And I want you to go back and you read that to yourself. This is I love this journal. It got me out of a funk. I literally wrote in all the pages of mine. So yeah, Girl Get Up is your all in one.
Well, I think most of us have been through a period where that would have been a necessary thing, or some people might be going through it now. I went through something like that, and I'm a very self-motivated person, but um when I was between marriages, I went through a period like a year when it just seemed like everything that could go wrong was going wrong. I kept going though. I never quit. I never gave up. But
Yes.
it was like, what else can happen? It was just like one thing after another, and it was all bad. And then I guess once it bottoms out, then you start to get an upside. But
Yeah.
you know, there's some periods where it's just tough,
Yeah.
and you can sometimes you can rely on friends and talk to friends, but sometimes you don't really want people to know that you
Mm-hmm.
where you are. It's
Yeah.
like, especially if you are you're a person who's always liked to be a high achieving person, and you don't really want to tell people you had a failure.
Yeah,
I
Um,
think
exactly.
that's why this book is so special, because there are people who are high achieving people, and you sometimes you don't want to tell people that you need help, or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you just don't have people you can turn to, or you
Mm-hmm.
don't feel that you have people you can turn to. So
mhm.
sometimes there's a book like this that you can almost confide in, that kind of has those answers for you, that are, or places that you can just kind of write it all down.
Write it down.
So there are people
Mhm.
out there who need a book like this.
This
Yeah.
there's pages in here also I found useful. This same grandmother that told me I would never be anything. I had my first daughter at 17. Okay.
Mm.
And she told me I would never be anything. And so I never used to be the type to prove something, but I started to adapt that mentality. And so the day of graduation, I didn't graduate with a GED. I did graduate with a high school diploma. The school allowed me to walk my child on the stage with that diploma, and she was there to see that. Um, there were some things that I didn't want to say out loud. There were some things that I couldn't tell anyone. There's a part in this book that tells you can either keep it or burn it, but you need to say it, because when you burn it, you release it. That's why I just love this book. It helps me through so much. And I knew I needed to create this because after looking through all those other journals, it didn't give us that option. There's some things I'm proud of that I want to keep, but there's some things I need to say and get it out and burn it. And it helped me through a lot that I've been through. A lot.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, it's good to write something that will help other people.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a few things that I'm working on for that too. So, uh, yeah, I try to do that. So you had on there you're going to be attending some events coming up.
Yes. I will be
Is
at the
it a
Live
book?
Fest October 3rd.
Okay, Chicago Book Fest.
Yes, October 3rd.
Now, who puts that on? Do you know?
She Publishing.
Oh, that's Shanita's event.
Yes, that's Yep.
Okay.
It'll be that.
Okay.
And hopefully I'll have my third book that's supposed to be released Thursday. It's called LOVE. That's me. That's my children's book that I created. Praying that it
Okay.
come out because this is my son's birthday.
Oh, okay. Now
Yeah.
is She Publishing doing that one too?
Yes, She Publishing got me. I told them this is a marriage. You got to divorce me to get rid of me. Yes. So I'm
Okay.
really excited
Now,
about that.
if you were going to give advice to aspiring authors who are looking for some guidance or someone to work with in terms of finding a publisher, because not everybody can do independent work with a publisher. Amazon has a KDP, which is basically for people who already know how to do a book, but it's not for people who need the support.
I would say do your research. I know it is easy enough to go on Amazon and push out a book, but you want quality. You want quality. You want to make sure that you're not going to be sued. You want to make sure you're following the laws. You want to make sure that it belongs to you and not to someone else. I would say do the research first. I know it may seem like it's cheaper to go this route, but sometimes the cheap way is not the correct way. The one thing I will say is you're going to get a lot of no's. You may get a lot of no's, but don't stop. Don't quit. That one no just means that is not for you. God got something else better for you. Somebody out there waiting, and that's going to give you the yes you need, that you can trust with your material, and then know that they're going to care for it the same way you will. So don't get discouraged. Don't give up. Girl, get up and find your publisher.
Amen.
Well, that's good.
Amen.
That's good advice. And nowadays there are a lot of, with AI, there's a lot of people perpetrating, and they using just bots and machines and AI prompts, and none of it's real. And I've developed a philosophy now, that if I don't already know you, I don't want to know you. You might not be real. There's so many people trying to make a quick buck, just lying, just straight up lying, fabricating. It's I need some kind of a seal of approval. I need, if you approach me, I need 5 references. I need some real people. No, seriously, it's a lot of people who are fake. It's a lot of fake stuff out here.
I get it. I'm not even gonna fool with you.
I do want to say this though, when I got the invitation to be on a guest here, I was so excited. I'm the type that like do research first, and I've watched you guys. I think if you can see, I went down each one of you guys interviews, and you guys are amazing. You guys have interviewed some of the people that I just inspire to be like sometimes, to be like. And I'm like, oh my God, now it's my turn. I'm being interviewed. Like, this is huge for me. All my posts is like, watch me. This is huge for authors. Make sure y'all follow them. Like, everything. I love this. I thank y'all for having this platform for us, because we need the exposure. And if anybody take this for granted, they crazy. You guys are amazing. You guys interview well. I love
sweet.
it.
Thank you.
Really nice. That's sweet of you. And we love what we do. And and the time has just gone by so fast. Well, the time tonight, but I mean the time that we've spent doing the show. Like, it's almost 6 years, and it just doesn't seem like it. It's the time has gone by so fast, because when you do what you love to do, time flies when you're doing that.
You're having fun.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah.
And so we are at the end of our interview time. We want to make sure people know how to get your book, or your books, plural. So let people know how they can connect with you on social media and where your books can be found.
you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Coach Mimi 30, or you can put in author Omia Tylet on Facebook and Instagram. You can find my material at shepublishingllc.com. You can also go to Barnes and Noble, Books a Million, and you can go to Amazon and find my material. I also have an email address. I don't know about heart because I just created it some weeks ago. Late Night Readers for Authors at gmail.com. I created that platform for new authors. It's a book club on Facebook. It's a group. And I created that platform for authors who is just starting, or all authors who need that extra exposure. They might got 3 million followers, but what's an extra 250? That means a lot in the author world. So I created that for them to not publish, but get some book exposure, give my readers something good to read, not just mine, but it's a lot of material out there. So if you guys can follow me on Facebook and join that book club, that'd be awesome.
Well, we did put your link, your She Publishing link website in the chat. So hopefully everybody will click that link and purchase your books. You are amazing. Congratulations on all you have accomplished. Keep doing what you're doing. And I love the fact that you are not only publishing your books, but you are also reaching back to support others. And that's what we should be doing in this industry, meaning more people to be doing the same. So thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Okay, we're bringing on our next guest, and he has a new book out, and then he has a sequel coming out. But he's also an actor, and he's been on several shows. He's an actor, a director, a screenwriter. He's been on Doogie Howser and
I like that show.
NYPD Blue. Those are two of the shows he was on. And I don't know if he's still acting now, but he'll let us know. And his name is Markus Redmond. And Markus, welcome to Black Authors Matter TV.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here.
And you're joining us from California. What part of California are you in?
I am in Venice Beach, California.
Okay.
Oh, Venice Beach.
Very, very close to the ocean, yes.
Is that southern or northern? Or in the
It's
middle?
southern.
Southern
It's
California.
Southern
Okay.
It's west of Los Angeles.
Venice Beach is the really famous beach where all the cool stuff takes place.
Yes.
I've heard of it for years. I just didn't know exactly where it was. And I've been all over California. Never been to Venice Beach, but I've been to a lot of places in California. So it's
an experience. Venice Beach. It's an experience.
Now, is that one of the nude beaches?
No.
Oh, no, that's where they do. You'll find all of the juggling and they do all the shows.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And
What's the comedian that used to? There used to be comedians who used to perform there, and
there's still comedians. It's the famous beach where the Doors were discovered. And a lot of different big rock bands in the 60s, they would play walk. And so we still have those musicians. They're not as good as the Doors. So it's always going down a little bit.
Well, music is not what it used to be, but it's not. It doesn't have instruments anymore. I'm like, how can you say you listen to music or making music and there's no instruments? But you have, if you didn't grow up appreciating just the art of it with just the bands that being in the studio, then it's hard to connect back with it.
Right. True. True. I mean, a lot of stuff is electronic now, and God bless.
Computer driven or beats, or it's just beats. So tell us are you still acting?
I am not. I've not acted for maybe a decade now.
Okay. So you're doing more of the writing.
Yeah, I kind of moved into filmmaking. So I was doing independent films that I was acting in so that I could actually have roles that I thought were fitting. Um, but as I got more into writing and it led me into, novels, now that I'm here, that's all I'm doing. I never say never. It'd be cool to act in a Singaporean drama somehow. But but right now I'm focused on the books.
Okay, now when you if you're writing for film, what
Mhm.
kinds of, is it dramas? Is it action? Is it rom-com?
I
What
used
kind?
to, it's odd because considering Blood Slaves, when I was writing films, they were mostly romantic comedies for the most part.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
so it's
Wait,
big
name one
pivot.
that we would know. Like,
Oh, you know what? I was writing these things, but they didn't get anywhere. I did do a thriller that ended up on Amazon Prime, called The Sixth Degree, which is about a suicidal celebrity who gets trapped with a bunch of people in his house. And there's a killer on the loose, and they have to figure it out. And that was kind of fun. But the scripts that I was writing, I was trying to create stories that were centered on Black folks and centered in interracial camaraderie. And folks in Hollywood, they weren't too keen on that. So a lot of them just got written and set aside.
Interesting.
well, maybe they might be resurrected and find an audience at some point. You
Hey,
never know.
I might turn them into books.
Right. That's
That
true.
might be the best way
That's
to
the
do it.
skeleton. That's true.
Yeah.
Those are really good structures for
Mhm.
novels. So,
Yeah.
Blood Slaves is about an African vampire tribe,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, now so our vampires are all it's coming back. It sometimes it's it's out there, then it'll be dormant, and then the vampires will come back as
Yeah.
a subject matter for stories. Now I don't know if you have you ever seen the movie Blackula?
I have many, many years ago with
Yeah,
my
many
dad.
many years ago. That's a really scary movie.
Yeah.
I it's and then the sequel. Did you see the sequel?
I didn't even know there was a sequel.
Okay, you'll learn some new information. There's a sequel
Yes.
called Scream, Blackula Scream. I don't know if
Oh.
it's available anywhere on streaming. Blackula has been on Tubi.
Oh,
Um,
really?
mhm, yeah.
Okay. Black.
So now I don't think it's on there now, but it was in rotation for a while. I was too
Yeah.
scared to watch it because I was like, it is actually a scary movie. Have you
It
seen
is a
it,
scary
Rhonda?
movie.
No.
It is scary. It is scary. Anyway,
I've never heard of the movie. I was today,
you haven't
so
heard of Blackula?
Ooh,
I've heard of Blackula. I've not heard of the sequel.
Oh, the sequel,
yeah,
the Scream. Well, that one isn't quite as scary.
it is.
Sequels rarely meet the moment of the original, but
Quite the
it
title.
was it was. So anyway, what and we have Sinners, of course, the movie, which I haven't seen because I'm scared to watch it because I'm scared it's gonna frighten me and I have nightmares. And I
It's not as scary as you would imagine, actually.
and people say that, but vampires scare me. I'm not, The Exorcist didn't scare me. Um, some of them other movies that people said really scared them didn't scare me, but vampire movies scare me. And
Well,
Interview with a Vampire scared me.
yeah, that was scary. But I will say this about Sinners. Sinners, I saw it. I really enjoyed it. Uh, it's not a vampire movie to me. It is a movie with vampires in it, but it is not a
Okay.
vampire movie, if that makes sense.
Yes. Okay. All right. So that gives me some solace. I might. It's right. It's playing just about everywhere now. So,
Yeah.
I may probably eventually try to start it and then I'll
You'll
see.
start it and really enjoy it because the vampire thing doesn't really show up until much later in the film.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought the whole thing was fun. And I know that the Michael B. Jordan plays himself and his twin. He plays
Yes,
two roles in there. So,
excellently.
okay. Yeah, well, he
Mhm.
won Best Actor. So, yeah. So, tell us about your book, Blood Slaves, and what's the storyline, the overall arc for the book.
So the basic pitch is in 1710, there's a slave named Willie who finds out that vampires are not from Europe, they're from Africa. He meets the last one. He takes the blood. He builds a vampire army. He takes revenge against the slave owner. He takes the plantation for himself and his people and the indigenous, and he ends slavery 150 years before the Civil War. That's the nutshell of what the book is.
Wow. Okay, how many pages is it roughly? Is
Oh,
it thick?
about 400. About 400.
Okay. Okay, so it's a detailed story.
It's a healthy book, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, healthy books don't bother me. Boring books bother me. So it can be 100 pages if it's boring.
Agreed.
But
I did my best. I did my best to keep it from being boring. I did my best.
okay. Now, did you have a movie in mind when you wrote the book?
No,
Like were you thinking that you could do a screenplay for the book?
no,
You
not
were
at all.
strictly wanted to write the book.
So it was during the pandemic in 2020, and I
Okay.
got very upset about the murder of George Floyd. And I was trying to figure out a book because nobody knew what was happening in Hollywood unless you're an A-list person. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to write a book because a book is pandemic proof. You don't need a crew, you don't need cast. It's a book. You just read it. And stories are all I know how to do anyway. So I just started writing it, and it was a vampire book, and I was trying to figure it out. And all this stuff happened. I was very angry, and my wife said to me, "It's too bad your vampires can't go back in time and fix everything from the start." And the next day, this book came to me whole in my head, and I knew it was a book from the get-go, and I just started writing it.
Hmm.
It sounds really it's really like a combination of historical fiction
Hmm.
and event because of the setting, because of the years.
Right.
And I love historical fiction. Have you ever heard of Dark Corner? It's a book by Brandon Massey. It
I
came
haven't.
it came out, I'm gonna say 12, 13 years ago. So, but it's about
Okay.
vampires and it has like a historical bent. It's not a book about slaves or that.
Right.
It's
Right.
more the old, like the oldest vampire like gets
Oh,
resurrected
okay.
like that.
That's
So
cool.
it's like a 500-page book. Excellent story. Excellent story. One of my favorites. So
Really?
one of my top 20 is still in
Oh
my top
man.
20
Okay.
of all time, and I've read thousands and thousands of books.
Gonna have to look it up.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give your book a try. Hopefully it won't like make me stay up late at night. But I think reading about vampires is different from watching the visual.
Yeah, I think so
Mm.
too. I think
Yeah.
so too. A lot of people have said to me that the horror in the book is not the vampires. The horror in the book is the slavery. It was important to me to accurately depict slavery and the conditions that our ancestors went through
Mhm.
because we were in a time where slavery was being downplayed by the administration. It was being made light of, less of. And the truth of it is that what our ancestors went through was horrendous, and it was daily, and it was awful. And I think we are the living testament of their resilience because we're here. What happened I mean, it's literally researching things. There's this much of what I researched that's in the book. And it's awful. It's absolutely atrocious. But there were things that I saw I could never write about. And it was absolutely horrendous. Um, and not only was that important because it was factual, but it was also important because it played into the story. I mean, if you are in a situation and your only way to freedom is to die and come back a monster that has to kill and feed on blood to live, things have to be pretty bad. And unfortunately, they were. So that was sort of the
This is
juxtaposition.
the importance of teaching our history, though, because unfortunately, our history is being downplayed. So a certain faction of our population can feel better about themselves because we don't want certain parts of our population to feel bad. And so our history is being downplayed like it wasn't so bad. And if we don't teach our history, our next generation is going to grow up thinking that slavery wasn't that bad or that slavery was a choice.
Right, right.
And we have to teach our history. It doesn't mean that we only teach the atrocities, but we do have to let people know. We do have to let our generations behind us know that everything wasn't coming up roses. Everything wasn't beautiful. We
Right.
have to teach the
It was,
beauty as well as the atrocities.
yeah,
Exactly.
basically our ancestors were living a daily nightmare.
Yeah.
And you know, that shouldn't be downplayed. We we can take some solace in that because they lived through the Middle Passage, we're here.
Hmm.
Because if they hadn't, we wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
So the people who survived the Middle Passage had to be extremely strong minded, mind, body, and spirit. Because if you weren't, you died or jumped overboard, or it was a nightmare. I mean, and
Yeah.
then they came here to, you know, for the nightmare to continue. So,
Exactly.
and you know, when you sometimes when you just mention something to people about what our ancestors went through, just hearing it is like they get shocked or offended. This is real information. I said, if I had had my daughter 150 years ago, she could have been taken from me, you know, just taken, and I would have never seen her again.
Yeah.
And just the idea of that our ancestors who were mothers and fathers, but especially mothers,
Yeah.
had to lose their children, never to see them with no hope of ever seeing them again.
Well, that's part of the plot of Blood Slaves. Willie is in love with an enslaved woman named Gertie, and she is pregnant with their child. And once he finds this out, he's even more desperate for freedom because he knows that child does not belong to them. And he
Right.
doesn't want that child to be born into bondage. And it's true what you're saying. These things, they need to be remembered and discussed. But I find it interesting that it seems to be such a difficult subject for a lot of people to discuss the atrocity of slavery. But there's a whole lot more leniency when it comes to the Holocaust. And, you know, the Holocaust was awful, but no one's trying to make the Holocaust better. You know, like no one's trying to say, oh, well, you know, it wasn't that bad. Like people are very adamant about how insidious what happened was when it comes to the Holocaust. And it's unfortunate that slavery doesn't get seen the same way,
Well,
in my opinion.
also, it's 5 years versus 250. It's
That too.
12 generations of
Right.
just the slavery, not the post-slavery. No, I'm not even adding on those. It's 12 generations of people.
Right.
So they're not comparable. And this slavery happened in the United States, not across the pond.
True.
So, we we can't depend on other people to keep our history alive, because that comes and goes. We have to do it ourselves, basically, because who else can we depend on? So, now you have a sequel to Bloods, and I've already decided I'm going to get your book. So
Oh, thank you.
I had before you talked about it. I was skeptical, but now I'm all in about reading it. So, and when I read it, I will write a review, but I want to read some of the comments. Lisa Smith, isn't that the Social Book Club? Rhonda, Lisa Smith,
Yeah, I think that is Social Book Club. She came with her real name this time.
Yeah, she did. She said she bought the book 2 weeks ago from the Black Book Crawl in Brooklyn. They're doing these different Black Book Crawls in different cities
So
in the
great.
United States. And she said she fell in love with the cover.
Oh, yeah, it's a great cover.
Mhm.
Our art department is brilliant.
So when does book 2 come out?
Blood Rising will come out August 25th.
Okay. So is it a true sequel? Are the characters continuing? Or
Yes,
okay,
it's a true sequel. The
okay.
events of Blood Rising pick up 1 month after the end of Blood Slaves. And you really sort of get into the crux of what the overarching story is, because at its heart, it's an alternate history story. And so now you have Willie, who has been a leader and a vampire for basically a month. And now he is a leader of an entire people, and everyone is looking to him as to what to do next. And he has no idea. He was literally a slave a month ago, and now he is a leader. And so if Blood Slaves is a mediation on freedom, Blood Rising is a mediation on power. Like, what do you do once you have it? How do you go forward? What decisions do you make? How does it impact your relationships, your friendships, all of that?
Okay, so when you wrote Blood Slaves, did you know you were going to be writing Blood Rising?
Yes. Halfway through, I actually saw a pathway to bring the story all the way up in the present day. So hopefully, I will get to do that. But yeah, I started writing what became Blood Rising almost immediately after I finished Blood Slaves.
Okay, so did you have a problem? How easy or hard was it for you to sell the book?
uh, it was easier once the right folks were involved, but it took a while to find the right folks. So I wrote the book in 2020, um, and I found the right agent in 2023, and Kensington Publishing Company offered a 3-book deal for the series in 2024.
Oh, okay. So it's going to be a third book too.
There will be a third book in 2027. Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
that's great.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's great. So when you were like how did it go in terms of them pitching the book? Are they tying it to Sinners at all? Are you getting like, are they piggybacking off of Sinners in any way for the marketing part?
Not my publisher so much, but readers did. When I heard about Sinners, I was very nervous because I thought it was going to kill my book because I thought people were going to think I was copying Sinners, even though I had written it so far before. But what happened was people were going to see Sinners on multiple times, and then they started putting together reading recommendation lists. And they would say, if you loved Sinners, you should read these books. And Blood Slaves ended up on a lot of those lists. So I owe a debt to Sinners for my book because it opened up a lot of people to discovering it.
That's great. That's one of those things that you can't predict in advance.
Exactly.
It's like manna from heaven almost. Now, Lisa says she found found out about the book on TikTok.
Yes,
She
a
heard
lot of TikTok love. A lot of folks showed up on TikTok and made videos and talked about how much they love the book, talked about the characters that they liked, the characters that they didn't like so much. It was really cool. The folks at TikTok, I'm very grateful to them because again, they just continue to they're still talking about it. And now that the sequel is imminent, they're talking about that and pre-orders and all of that good stuff that novelists need to continue working. So it's been a really fun ride. The readers that have discovered the book have been incredibly supportive.
That's
So
wonderful.
that is wonderful. So Blood Rising, what period of time does that cover? Like,
So Blood Slaves happens in, I want to say, it's the summer of 1710. So Blood Rising is like the end of summer, the fall of 1710. It's a
oh, it's
literal,
the same. Oh, it's the same.
yeah,
Okay, same
it's
year.
literally 1 month later.
Oh,
It's
okay.
everything
Okay.
that happens in Blood Slaves happens, and then a month later, Blood Rising starts. So it's a continuation, a true continuation.
Oh, and do you have a title for book 3 yet?
I do,
You
but
can't
I
tell.
don't
It's a
think I'm
secret.
allowed to say it
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
It's
Does
a
it
little
have the
early.
word blood
A
in
little
it?
early.
It will have blood in it, yes.
Okay.
It will have blood in it.
Okay. All right.
I can also say that it will be set in the 1700s, but it'll be
Okay.
a little bit later. So
Okay.
I'm calling these first 3 books the first trilogy, in the hopes that there will be more trilogies as long as the readers show up.
Well, I just think that's great. Rhonda, did you have any more questions for him? I don't
No, I think you
the
covered
time.
you.
But see if you can find Scream Blackula Scream. It might be on YouTube, like
I'm
somewhere.
gonna look for it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for both. See if I can get a rewatch on Blackula.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it was when it came out, I was like maybe middle school, something like that. But it was at the theater and quite scary on the big screen. But it was like piggybacking off the old Dracula films.
Right. Right.
And those were scary as well. It wasn't, like stuff now is just full of blood and gore and heads being blown off and things like that. But the older movies, it was the music that really was scared you to death. The creepy
Okay.
soundtrack. And that's really like when there was always music that preceded when the vampire would show up, kind of like in Jaws, where the
Yeah.
music, dun, 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 and then the shark shows up. It was kind of like that. So anyway, there was some scary, but the scary stuff. But I watch it; it just scares me,
Yeah.
So, but anyway, thank you so much for agreeing to be on the show.
Oh, my pleasure.
Can't wait to dig into the Blessed Slaves
And
trilogy.
congratulations. Yeah, congratulations on a great launch and for a great run. And yeah, hopefully we'll have you back when book 3 is ready to be released.
I would love to. That'd be
Yeah, or
fantastic.
we can have them back for book 2. It's
Yes, we can do that
6
too.
months. Because we normally like to have at least 6 months between an appearance by someone. So that's
Okay.
around 6 months when Blood
Yeah.
Rising comes out. So
When is that?
Yeah.
August? Late August?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, come on. Yeah, well, come on back in August then.
do
Okay.
you have a copy of the book handy? Blood
Which
Slaves, I mean. Do you have
do
a
I?
copy of Blood Slaves handy that you can show on the screen?
Let's. Do I? Let's see here. Well, there's this.
Because somebody said they fell in love with the cover.
Yeah, that's the
So,
cover.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it looks creepy. So, okay, I'm going to order it tonight when I get off the show, and
Okay.
It'll be on my to be read shelf, which is extensive, but I might change the order. I move books around sometimes.
Sure,
So
sure.
I this sounds like something I want to dig into. So
Well, I hope you enjoy it. I really do.
okay, well, thanks, Marcus, for being on the show, and
Thank
congratulations
you.
again.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
You have a
Oh,
wonderful evening.
All
Um,
right, you all
enjoy the
too.
rest of enjoy the rest of your daylight because it's pitch black over here.
yeah. Yeah, he's in California, so he
Yeah,
what
yeah.
time? It's 6 o'clock there. So
Yes, it's six
yeah,
o'clock here, and the sun
mhm.
is still in the
Still
skies.
out. Yeah, it
Yeah.
just got dark where I am. Rhonda's been in the dark. All
Yeah.
right, have a great night.
All right, you all. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye bye. Okay, well, our next guest has been on the show before. It's been a while. I think I looked up when she was on before. December of 2022 was the last time she was on. And Rita Williams Garcia, she writes children's and middle grade books, but her one of her books was turned into a graphic novel. And if I'm not mistaken, well, I'm gonna wait till she comes on. Hi Rita. Let's unmute. Hi, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
being here.
Now, was your the one crazy summer, it was a book before, but then it
Yes.
was turned into a graphic novel.
Yes, indeed.
And
Yes.
so you were on the show with the book, and then did it get nominated for something recently?
Yes. The graphic novel was nominated for an NAACP Image
Image Award. That's
Award.
what I thought.
Yes.
That's what I okay. So congratulations on that. I know
Thank
that's
you. Thank you.
an honor. Was that your first nomination?
No, actually, the novel was nominated about what is it, 15 years ago? The
Oh,
novel was nominated. I have a second book that not only was nominated, but it won. I don't know if you can see it, but I have my little statue right there. I don't know if you can see
yes,
it.
yes, yes,
And
yes. Oh, congrats.
so having the graphic novel nominated was just yeah, look, that's all the confirmation that you need that you are home with your people.
This is true. It's a great honor, and they treat the nominees very well.
Oh, indeed they
Hmm.
do. Let me tell
Yeah.
you, I actually went to the gala 15 years ago, and it was just amazing. It was wonderful. All the were there. The celebrities, they were all there, and everybody treated everyone so well. So everyone from like Niecy Nash was like the hostess of the tea. We had a high tea, and she could not be more lovely. So it was just, you got to see the very people, LL Cool J, who used to live in my neighborhood anyway, the very people that you got to see, that you see on TV. They were just as sweet, just as, congratulatory to all of us who were in the children's book writing world. So it was really nice.
Yeah, I will say I've been nominated twice.
All
And
right.
I went, so the one thing I will say, well, there are many things I can't say. It is a great honor, but they treat the nominees like winners.
Yes, they
They
do.
they really do. You really get first class treatment. And as you say, the celebrities are mingled in with the authors. I mean,
Oh,
it's like you really have one-on-one access to them, and you know they're interested in hearing about you because you're there as an author.
oh yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's a
It's
wonderful thing.
great.
It's
It's a
great
wonderful
community.
experience.
And
It
there's
is.
nothing like being nominated, being recognized by your own,
It's
you know.
true.
Um,
Mhm.
it means so much, you know. It means that your work is really hitting the community in all the ways that are relevant, you know. So it's nice to get like this award and that award. And I am appreciative of everything that has come my way. But when you know that your people are hearing you and feeling you, it is a feeling like you feel like you've already won. So it means a lot to me to be recognized by our people.
Yes. And the first time I went, I didn't know what to expect. You know, the first time you go, you don't know that it's going to be like it is.
Hmm.
You know, that you just don't expect to be treated in such a first class way. Like like celebrities. You get treated like a celebrity.
You
It's
do,
really
you
an
do.
amazing thing. So, do you have a copy of your book, that the one that got? I know you do. You have it handy. Okay, One Crazy Summer, and so the graphic novel
Yeah.
is the inside. It's kind of like the layout. Is it like a comic book?
Oh, very much so. Let me just shout out my illustrator and partner in design, Miss Cherie Miller, she is just genius. Anyway, so she really brings these characters to life. You know, when you're reading, you imagine the characters in your head.
Yeah.
And if you're in the fourth grade, fifth grade, you don't know what a Black Panther is other than Wakanda, you know, what you like the movies. Um, and here we are back in the 1960s, and Cherie has brought these characters to life. And so you get a glimpse of what an Eldridge Cleaver might look like Fannie Lou Hamer, who was an activist that children don't know about. They're not taught in schools. So you get to see those figures because they kind of appear here and there, you know, making sure that history just pops up, even as these children are involved in their childish little lives, you know, but you know, we keep the history going, you know, and so those illustrations are just so important because they keep the children engaged, you know, and they're just good. This girl, Miss Cherie Miller, I am just so lucky to have her on this project because she's just really brought everything into full color and into life, and you can feel everything and you can laugh along with it too, but you learn a lot also. I mean, she is genius. I'm just so glad to have her.
So, did you, when you turned the novel into a graphic novel, how much interaction did you have with her in terms of how you wanted it depicted?
Okay,
Or did you
so
kind of leave it up to her to read the story and then come up with the
Okay,
graphic?
so you know how I'm saying how much of a genius she is and everything? Well, okay, when I first started, I was like, "Oh, let me tell her everything, you know. Let me give all the instructions." And so I had all kinds of instructions in the script, and I had like, this has to be this, and that uniform has to be that, and back in the '60s they wore their hair like this. Here's some pictures of it. I had so much stuff that she had to be like, stop it right now. Stop it right now. I am an artist in my own right,
Like, you're
and
doing
I
too
need,
much, Rita. You're doing too
there
much.
you go. You just doing way too much. I was like, okay, you know, and thank merciful God that she stepped in and said, Rita, enough, because what she did was beyond what I could imagine. So, so you know, it was a
That's
learning.
always good to be, to have your expectations exceeded, you
Oh
know.
yeah.
That's is better than to have them diminished or disappointed, you know.
Oh,
But
that's true.
sometimes you have a thought in your mind,
Yes.
but the artist can go way past what your expectations are.
You better believe it.
And sometimes if you just keep that thought in your mind and you stay so rigid that you don't let the artist be an artist, you wind up blocking your blessing. So sometimes you just have to step back and let the artist be the artist. And if it's not what you're looking for, then you can let them, you can say, no, that's not what I'm looking for. But sometimes when you just pull back and let them do what they're going to do, and you wind up being pleasantly surprised.
Oh yeah.
It just surpasses way more than what you were expecting in the first place. And it sounds like this is what she did for you.
Oh, she did that and more. It was just when I finally saw some of those sketches, I was like, shut my mouth because it's on the floor.
Yes.
I was beyond just thrilled and so grateful that she really threw herself into it and that she had the space to do it, you know. So
now, did the illustrators for the was she nominated too, or just the author?
Oh, no.
She received a nomination too. Okay,
you
good.
better believe it. She did. Yes, indeed.
Right. That's
So
wonderful.
that was just really important.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So, the One Crazy Summer is the summer of what year?
It is 1968. You weren't even born then.
Okay. Well, I was, but
Hey, what? Look at that black don't crack. But I kept a diary around that time. I wish I had it with me here, but I kept a diary during that time. I was 11 years old, and so everything I had a little bit of everything in my diary. It was, what went on in schools. Mommy and daddy are fighting. My father, when he came home from Vietnam, he took us to the airport to hear Senator Robert F. Kennedy speak. He was running for president, and he was against young people around the age of 18 going off to war, but they couldn't vote. They could give up their lives for their country, but they had no say in who was going to lead the country. So that was one of the things that I remembered from that time. And then a few months later, I learned of his assassination, and I wrote that in my diary as well. So I had quite a few historical notations in that diary. The assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, and how these we had a special assembly to address that, and this was in a very integrated school, and so we only had about 3 African American teachers, and one of those teachers, Miss Knight, she was crying during the assembly, and there were these white children, and they were laughing at her because she was crying, and I remember that, and I had noted that in my diary. And so, I go back through it. And so I look at the things. There's nothing in there that I've written that is particularly deep, but it's that I noticed. And so I wanted to always encourage children to be aware of what is happening, because you're a part of history because you're witnessing it. You're seeing it through your own lens, even as a child, and your view, it matters. Children do play a part in history. Children are the beneficiaries of history, but they also participate. They also bear some sacrifice. When we think of a lot of our leaders, their children who had to sacrifice their time with their parent, because their parent is out there doing for the greater community. Many Black Panther children, the Panther Cubs, visited parents who were incarcerated or siblings who were incarcerated, because a lot of those rank and file Panthers, they were quite young, you know.
Yes.
But there were children, and children were involved, and children had to kind of know what was going on. So a part of what we might call innocence is, that has to be given up in order to be somewhat conscious of what was going on. So I wanted to really talk about that movement just from a child's point of view, a child entering into that world and really not knowing, but curious, but also afraid, but what's going on, but also feeling pride, so because that kind of reflects how Black people in general were, they kind of on one hand, uh, we're finally loving our Blackness. We're finally feeling that pride and ready to just truly stand up,
Right.
and claim ourselves and our history and our culture and our power, and to recognize that we do have power. But then on the other hand, what they doing? Why they got rifles? And what's this about? And why is it always that? So we had those kinds of, shifts going on, and we weren't. It wasn't all unified, at that time, but we were moving toward unity. And a lot of us kind of reluctantly inching along, but finally inching along and seeing the progress that a lot of these activists have made.
Now, then even the music, some of the songs from back then reflected what was happening.
Oh yeah,
You
oh
know,
yeah.
so were you
The
able to
songs were
incorporate any
huge.
of that in your book?
Oh, oh. Let's see. Did I? I can't even recall, but I do know that when we made the book trailer some 15, 16 years ago, we used James Brown's "Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm
Like on,
Proud,"
okay,
uh,
okay.
because that was just kind of a theme. When these three girls went out to Oakland, they went out there as Negro girls, as colored girls, and one of the first things that one of the Black Panthers says to them is, that he says, "What are you doing with that white doll? You're a black girl," and the little girl says, "I'm colored," and so, and but by the time we end the story, the children embraced their Blackness, and then they still got to
Okay.
come home to their grandmother, who's like, "Say what?" So the struggle continues. But yes, the
Mhm.
music was such a huge part, because even with it having a lot of message, um, it had to be funky. Had to
Yeah,
dance
that is
to it,
true.
you know. It had to
Yeah,
be us. It had to have the culture in it,
It was the
yeah.
illustration of the entire movement.
You better believe it. Yes, it
Mhm.
Yes.
was. And everybody, we went from one focus to another. All of a sudden, Marvin Gaye, what's going on? When you
Mhm.
listen to that album, his what's going on album, it's just really, it's really deep. Um, and then you have even Motown artists, they couldn't just sing the same "My Girl" and what have you. They had to move along too, and so you could see that in the Temptations
Mhm. Mhm.
work. Even Smokey Robinson was writing some more
Edgy,
progressive. Yeah, he was
more edgy. Yeah.
writing some, but
Uh,
they didn't wasn't as popular, but they were all trying to move toward where the people were going, and trying to get us there. So we're all kind of in the, music carries people. We have to be in the groove, in the message, and a lot of artists knew that. Curtis Mayfield, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
he had a lot
oh
of
yeah,
message music. Yeah, the Temps had Cloud Nine was one, but Ball of Confusion is
yeah,
another one
yes,
that
hmm,
comes to mind that they
yep.
did during that time.
Hmm.
And Stevie Wonder had some songs.
Stevie
Um,
Wonder. Well, Stevie Wonder was out there,
he,
Stevie Wonder was out there on the front lines, so
he's been in every he's because he started when he was 12 or 13. I think he was 12.
Right.
he was 12.
So yeah, so
Yeah, they
he's
called her Little
been
Steve.
yeah,
Little Stevie. And
yeah.
and Barry Gordy thought he was going to keep little Stevie for the rest of his life, but as Stevie Wonder turned 21, he had a meeting with Barry, and Barry threw this big like party for Stevie. And then the next day Stevie had a lawyer, had his lawyers with in a meeting with Barry. And oh, let me tell you, Stevie was a man that day, because he laid out what he wanted and he got it all. So a child no more. Little Stevie Wonder no more.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
but
But
there was
it's
some
important.
great music made during that time. And even with Nina Simone's Young Gifted and Black, that was um one of the
Yes,
themes from
yes.
back then too. So there was just a lot. It was really hand in hand. All of the music
Mhm.
was being released as things were happening. And I think was it because Marvin Gaye was with Motown.
Yes.
So I know Barry Gordy didn't really want him to do the album with all it
But
said it
it
was
was
too
his best work.
controversial, but it was his. I mean, it was a hit like
Mhm.
instantly. But he didn't. He thought it was too controversial.
Yeah.
And What's
But
Going On album. I saw a really nice documentary. Well, two documentaries. One was about the making of Motown, and I think it's on Netflix or somewhere. And it's
Mhm.
like 2 hours of Barry Gordy and Smokey Robinson talking just about how all of that transpired.
Oh
And
yeah.
I
then
think I
there's
saw that. I have to look for that.
Oh
oh,
yeah.
it's really
It's
good,
it's good. Mhm.
really good. Um, and then the interesting thing was like all of those singing groups, especially the females, they worked at Motown answering phones, and
Mhm.
I think Martha Reeves, Red Dallas was a receptionist.
Oh,
It
you
was
know what? Come to think of it, I did see that because I remember that she was a
okay.
receptionist.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I remember that. I remember that
yeah.
story.
And then there's a good documentary about the Ed Sullivan Show. That's
Mm.
I told you about that, Rhonda, when we were in Atlanta. And
Hmm.
they went back to the early days. I didn't realize how much Ed Sullivan had done to bring Black artists on major TV.
Oh yeah.
And because they had some clips of Nat King Cole being on there, Sammy Davis Jr.,
Mhm.
and they were just so talented. I mean, they could not only sing, they could play, they could dance. They did everything. Like just super talented people. But Ed Sullivan pushed the envelope in getting the Black artists the exposure back then, where they did not get that kind of exposure anywhere else.
Oh, yeah, because you're talking about a time when instead of having the artists on the album covers, you'd have like a river, a white
Right.
girl looking off into the distance, and it's a Marvin Gaye album or whatever, whatever the
Right.
group was. But
Right.
that you would not, you couldn't have Black artists on the cover, especially if
Right.
it was going to be, that pop 40, that and how are you going to distribute it in the South if you have Black artists on the cover? And so, I mean, um, they there was just it was just so we just had to get out of there. We needed the Black arts movement to push us up on out of there. But also,
Mhm.
it did help that some people, really pushed for to have Black artists. We had Nat King Cole had his own show, and I believe
And I didn't realize that until I saw the Ed Sullivan documentary. because that was I don't really remember Nat King Cole. I mean, I know he was after I got older, but he wasn't an artist. He died before I was aware of music, I guess.
Yeah,
And he died kind of young too, because
he died young.
like
I
a
believe he died.
smokestack.
I believe he died in 65 or 66. He had cancer.
He had cancer because he smoked like chain smoker. But back then, a lot, in the movies, if you look at the old movies, they all smoked. Everybody was smoking.
Oh yeah.
So that was before the tobacco companies had to come clean. So
that's why just to kind of put things the way they were, I had the girls get in the car with their mother and the other Black Panther, and they're lighting up cigarettes, and and the kids are in the back seat coughing because that was how it was.
That's true. My parents didn't smoke, so we didn't smoke, because if we had smoked, my parents would have known. Because when you smoke, it's all over you.
Oh yeah.
And so I smoked a half of a cigarette once when I was 12, and it was a used cigarette. I don't even think there was any tobacco in it. I think it was probably just the filter. And I tried it. I said, what is this? I don't see what people get out of it. That's because there wasn't anything there, thankfully. And so I never smoked. I never tried it again. But my sister picked it up in college because it was a cool thing. It was cool to smoke, know. And she picked it up in college, and she smoked for 10 years, 2 packs a day. And then she quit. But her husband introduced her to smoking. Well, they were dating. He smoked, so she picked it up. And then he ended up quitting before her. He went cold turkey, and it took her a couple more years to quit. So anyway, that was, but back then, people smoked.
That's how it was.
You could smoke on the airplane. You could smoke everywhere.
I remember those ashtrays on the airplane.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing actual cigarette butts in them.
So, we didn't know about contact, that you could get smoking, secondhand smoke. Yeah. You could get diseases from that. And so people didn't know. And then, some people, tobacco was in all kinds of forms, because you had chewing tobacco too.
Oh, yes,
and
you did.
Snuff back then.
Mm-hmm.
Those were popular in the rural areas. I don't know about the city, but my parents grew up picking tobacco in North Carolina, so that was the cash crop.
Oh yeah.
Back then. So I love the One Crazy Summer. And you're bringing all of that history from that period to life for young people, so in a way that they can appreciate,
I hope so.
Entertaining and learning at the same time.
I hope so. You got to do it, because they are sure enough trying to erase it, just like they're trying to erase us, but we're not going to let that happen,
No. Well, you can't erase the originals. You can try.
You can try.
The original people cannot be erased.
That's right.
Just saying. So anyway, Rita, I'm assuming all of your books are available everywhere books are sold.
Yes, they are.
Okay. And
go out and buy them, y'all.
Are you active?
Mama needs royalties.
Oh, somebody said that she tried snuff. Lisa with the Social Book Club said she tried the Pall Mall cigarettes, and she said she got so sick. Mm-hmm. And she said she tried snuff too. She got high.
She get for trying to be grown,
and it was like dirt in her mouth.
She get for trying to be grown.
Yeah,
that needs to be the commercial. That tastes like dirt in my mouth.
All of my aunts did snuff. Like my grandparents, it was a thing that women did. Men chewed tobacco, and in the country they had it was like a coffee can.
Yes,
they would sit on the porch, and it would be beside them, and that was their spit can.
Mm-hmm. Just nasty.
That was what they did. Anyway.
That's why that's in the past. We're not trying to bring that
Yes.
back.
No, we don't. I don't even know. Is snuff still a thing?
Um,
Or
I
people?
think
I
I
know.
think
I've
people are
seen
doing
people
other things.
tobacco. I've seen people. The baseball players do the
Yeah.
tobacco, and some of them still do that in their cheek and stuff. But I haven't seen snuff anywhere in many years.
Yeah. Let's keep it back there. Let's keep it in the past.
Yeah. It needs to stay back there. So anyway, Rita, congratulations again on
Thank you.
your additional nomination, and keep writing those books.
I'm writing.
Okay. All right. Take care. Have a good night.
Thank you. And thank you for having me because Black
This was a fun
authors do matter.
conversation. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Okay. So our final guest is with B.K. Royston Publishing. Now, Lisa said her cousins in the South did snuff and she wanted to be like them. You know, that peer pressure is strong.
Yeah.
So anyway, Deborah Moss, you are with B.K. Royston Publishing and you have a children's book, and we want to welcome you to Black Authors Matter TV.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Well, I love the way
Yes.
your head wrap is. I know you had a head wrap in your photo. Is that what
Thank
do you
you.
wear them all the time?
Sometimes occasionally, but for the most part, right now I'm wearing them, but when I'm at home or just out and about, I typically don't.
Oh, okay. But it looks good on you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you have a copy of your book, Hello Beautiful?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
This is what it looks like.
Oh, okay. Great. And so
Yes.
I like the family photo. I like the family photo.
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
So what is this your first book?
This is my third.
Third book. Okay. So are all of your books with B.K. Royston, or did you publish some of them on your own before you got with
No,
B.K.?
all of them are with BK Royston.
Okay. All right. Because Julia said they had like a children's line, a children's
Yeah.
imprint. So what led you to write Hello Beautiful? What was your motivation?
My motivation was I went through a lot as a child of feeling unworthy, low self esteem, no confidence. And I really wanted to write a book for children, for African American children, so that about mental health, about bullying, so they could read it and understand what they're going through, so that prayerfully, when they're my age at 27, they're not still going through the same thing they were going through as a child.
Okay. Now is bullying I mean, we had bullying when I was growing up, but it seems like it's because of the advent of the cell phones, smartphones with everybody taking a video. Um, it seems like the bullying becomes a group thing, and then it seems like it escalates. And instead of somebody stepping in and breaking it up, everybody's trying to film it.
Yes, ma'am. I definitely agree with that. Nowadays there's a lot of cyberbullying and a lot of bullying of, well, let's take a video like you said and post it on social media and embarrass the person further. So I think there's a lot of what's the word for it? Fear, when they just feel like they have to do something because their peers are doing it. Feel like
Okay,
they
peer
have to
pressure.
do it. Yes, ma'am, peer
Mhm.
pressure.
Mhm.
Feeling like, let me record to take the spotlight off of me, because maybe if I just join in, they won't do this to me.
Oh,
So
I
more
would
so,
say that bullying has gotten worse, and you're right. The internet has made it much worse, and it started, I think, with people just going on the internet and bullying the person. maybe messaging the person and bullying them. And
Right.
then it's gotten to taking a picture and posting the picture, and then it's gone to video. And it's sad because now even adults are doing it to each other. It's not even just kids doing it anymore. And so
Right.
when kids are seeing adults doing it to each other, what makes them say, oh, well, I shouldn't, or why should I not do it when I'm seeing adults doing it? So,
Right.
it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And
Yeah, and with AI, I saw this one situation that was reported in the news. The young lady, they would use AI to make it seem like she had posted naked pictures of herself. And
Hmm.
then they spread that, and it wasn't even true.
Right.
Um, and how do you counter that? Once it gets out there, it's out there. And no matter what you say, you can't you can't counter all the eyeballs that have seen you and believe it. You can't counter that. And so
Right.
it's leading some people, some young people, it's leading them to commit suicide because they just can't handle it, or they can't, and that would be difficult for anybody to deal with, including adults,
Yeah.
mhm.
you know.
Yeah. I'm under the impression and the understanding that a lie will spread quicker than the truth.
Oh
And
yes,
that's unfortunate.
that's true. But
Yeah.
there's a saying that good news travels fast, but bad news travels much faster than good news.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, ma'am.
whoever said good news travels fast, I guess they were an optimistic person. They were, but bad news travels really fast.
Yeah, even when they
Yes.
know the truth.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
You can
Right.
they can have the proof of the
yes,
truth, and it will
yes,
still travel slower than the lie will.
yes.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. So what's the storyline in Hello Beautiful?
So in Hello Beautiful, the storyline is about a young African American child. She's going through, like I was talking about, the low self-esteem, the not feeling self-worth, and she's going to a new school. And at this new school, she's met with bullying with a young girl and a young boy. The young boy's not necessarily bullying her, but like I was talking about, he's doing it so to be friends with the bully, so she doesn't bully him.
Oh,
And
okay.
in the story, it talks about the young girl that's the bully, how she's going through at home with her mom speaking native to her, not pouring love into her. Her dad just passed. So it really talks about only hurt people hurt other people. And it talks about how Alana stands up for herself. The main character stands up for herself to the bully and tells her, "You're not going to do this to me anymore." And the bully then explains to her, "I'm so sorry. This was going on in my life at home. I didn't know what to do with all my emotions." Because a lot of times children don't know what to do with all their emotions, especially bad emotions.
Hmm.
So with that, they kindle a relationship of understanding we are both hurting. We can help each other grow from the pain, or we can add to the pain. And so that's the overall narrative of the story.
Oh, okay. So she becomes friends with the bully, with her bully, or he, whichever. They
Yes,
become
ma'am.
friends
Yes, ma'am.
in the end.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if I ever became friends with any of my bullies. I can't recall.
Yeah.
I don't remember being friends with them. I just had hoped, you try to make yourself small so they won't see you. You hope they don't bully you this time. And this
Right.
was before, so we didn't have social media, none of that. So this was just one-on-one bullying. They didn't really do group bullying when I was in school. It was mostly one-on-one. I was a small person, and so I was a target for big people. So,
Yeah.
they would bully me. But then I normally would have another big person that would come to my defense, on
Hmm.
their own. So that was helpful. But
Yes.
people bully people for all kinds of reasons. And as you said, hurt people hurt people. Because I don't
Yes.
think you can feel good about yourself and bully people.
No.
There's something, you're being mistreated at home or somewhere.
Hmm.
Otherwise, that emotion of wanting to bully people wouldn't be manifest.
Right, right. And that's why, I have a huge passion for mental health. And that's why even in my stories, I dive into mental health and depression and anxiety because, children go through that as well. They show it in different ways, but they
Mhm.
still go through that. So the child you might not be being bullied, but you might be the bully. You're going through something's driving your choo-choo train. So it's like you have to look inside, and I feel like that's why it's important as the adult to have those type of conversations with your children or with your niece or your nephew, because many children they just suffer in silence. They don't tell
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and I don't know if teachers intervene. A lot of this stuff happens outside the classroom, though. So,
Hmm.
or you're on your way home.
Yep.
And I saw the one recent bullying thing where the mother they were attacking the mother and the child, and I think sent
Yeah.
them to the hospital or something. It's just like
Hmm.
who does that? Whose kids are like to the point where they're attacking and the mother was pregnant.
Oh
That was
wow.
fairly recent, in the last few months, where it was
Mm,
on the news. I forgot what
yeah.
city it was in, but and that was, that's a shame. So, um, now what are your other books about? Do you have your other books handy? The other two books?
I don't at this time.
What do you tell me about?
The first book is called it's about my story, and it's called Don't Allow Your Past to Hold Your Future Hostage. Don't allow what you go through to dictate where you're going.
Okay, and
Um
that's a good.
so
Now, is that a children's book too? Are these all children's books? Oh,
no,
is
so
it?
my first two books are for adults, for young adults.
Okay, okay. Because I was gonna say that's a good message for an adult.
It is. I like that.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah.
And the second one is actually a journal. It's called My Safe Space. And it's a journal that has prompts in it for about 10 to 15 prompts to help you work through your emotions. Like one of the prompts is, who would I be if I no longer identified as the scars I have?
Mm.
Because I think that we hold on to when people say, "Oh, you're the depressed girl," or "You're the ugly one," and we take that on many times as who we are, and that's not true. And in the journal, it talks a lot about seeing yourself the way God sees you, seeing yourself as who you were created to be. So that's what my first two books are about.
Okay, so you write books to motivate people.
That's what I was about to
Yes,
say. Motivating young people.
Mhm,
yes, ma'am.
mhm.
What gave you the inspiration to take that specific platform?
I took that platform. Motivation behind that was when I was deep in my dark place. What did I need to help me get out of that? What could have been said to me that would have pulled me out of that dark place I was in? And so I always wanted it to be where I'm helping somebody looking back. I don't want to ever get too far in life where I forget to look back and help somebody come forward. So that's where it came from for me, my own experiences of trauma, abuse, and just negativity. And I said to myself, okay, Deborah, what could have been said to you that would have made you not go through years of pain?
Right.
Mm.
Yes,
And that
ma'am.
helps because do you think that was it that you didn't have an adult who didn't say those things to you, or was it maybe you had the adult who said these things to you, but you didn't believe it at the time? Because I think in my case, when I was younger, I had adults who said these who may have said the right things to me, but I
Mhm.
don't know that I necessarily believe them, or they might have said the right things, but I'm like, well, that's not going to work. These kids aren't going to hear that, or I don't really believe that. So I didn't really take it in. I didn't really internalize it at the time. So that sometimes that can be the differentiator, so to speak.
Yes, and I definitely think it was a mixture of both. I think it was I didn't have the adult there that I didn't have the adult I wanted to be there.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
So
Mm.
the person that said it to me was like, "Well, I don't need to hear this from you. I need to hear this maybe from my dad." And he's not saying it. The person that I needed to hear it from. So I might have heard it from like someone at church, but it felt like it didn't hit to my heart the way it would have came from my dad.
That makes
Mm.
sense.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that it's important to dig deeper, of course, as you grow older and as you learn yourself, dig deeper, because there are definitely those people there that said, Deborah, you're beautiful, Deborah, you're smart. But it was like, oh, well, you're just saying that because you're a church lady. Okay.
Right. Oh, everybody's gonna tell a kid that they're beautiful, and everybody's gonna
Right.
tell a kid they're smart.
Right.
Right.
But you hadn't internalized it.
Right.
You
Yes.
made it your own.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I think that's something that I think we as adults have to learn. We can't just tell a kid that they're beautiful and they're smart, because kids are going to look at us like, of course you're going to say that. You're an adult, or your mom. Of course you're going to say
Right.
I'm pretty. No mom is going to tell their kid they're ugly. Of course you're going to tell me I'm pretty. You
Right.
know, I need somebody who's going to tell me that and I'm going to believe them. So
Yeah.
I think we adults have to realize that our kids are not going to believe us when we tell them those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they may believe them later, but you know, some
Right.
people have mothers that tell them that they're ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
That,
that's
but we
unfortunate.
but when we have
Bless you.
when our kids know that we are not the type of parents who are going to say that.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to give them a boost.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and sometimes we parents think that our love will will be enough, but it's not always.
Yeah. Yeah. And
You do
I
have to live in the world. You know, children have to live in the world with their peers for
yeah.
really the rest of their lives. After they go to school and then they go to college. Those are some new peers, and then
Yeah.
you go to work. Those are some other peers.
Yeah. And I
So,
think, and I've heard this saying before that, it takes 1,000 good jobs to wash away one, you're stupid. So it's like
oh,
you
you
can
mean
hear,
saying good job?
yes, saying good job.
Okay, because
Sorry.
you lost me in the first. You lost me at first, but yeah, okay, yeah, a thousand positive statements to watch out one. Do you think it takes that many? It could be,
I
but
think so.
it's a multiplier. You're
Yeah.
saying that the positives, you need a lot more of those to
Right.
erase the negative statements.
Yes. Yes. Because for whatever reason, we as humans, the negative, we accept the negative, but we're not as quick to accept the positive.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. I told my stepsons when they were growing up, there's something about, and this is along those same lines, kids who are going in a bad direction are much more persuasive than the kids going in the right direction.
Hmm.
So that's why your parents tell you, they try to guard your associations, because those kids going around, kids getting in trouble or whatever, sometimes they seem to be cool, sometimes they're popular or whatever, but there's something strong about the pull to the negative
Hmm.
that that can be stronger when you're growing up than the pulling to the positive, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know if that's some kind of law or theory, you know.
Right.
But it is true. The people who are doing wrong things are more persuasive, have more energy. The energy strong. It's something about it. I don't know what that principle or law is, but that's been my observation and experience just over living for years is that. And
Yeah.
so, you know, that's why you really have to be careful about who your children associate
Hmm.
with. Because
Yeah.
they, you know, one mistake can be life altering.
Oh, yes. Yes, ma'am. And I think to what you were saying, to your point, I think that in this day and age, especially with social media, the negative is so glamorized, and you get all these perks or all these
Yeah,
things
yeah.
because the Bible says the root of all evil is the love of money. And
Yeah.
I
And
feel like
because people are monetizing, they're
mhm,
getting paid pushing all this negative things about other people. And then people are starting to push it even about themselves.
right.
Um, to where just to make money. And it's just you know, is it worth that? You know, it's like is it this one guy was on it was a video I saw about one guy who was jumping off of a building onto I don't know, it was like a two-story building, but he was jumping off of a building to what how can I say it tastefully to uh hit his privates
Mm,
on it wasn't on cement, but it was on the ground, and it was to get views.
wow.
I'm like, you could be sterile. You can be, you know,
People are
you
doing all kinds of
can do
crazy
all
things
kinds
just to
of
get views.
crazy stuff to get
Yes.
views. You know, and well, and then the OnlyFans, that's
Hmm.
you know, where people are. I don't know what goes on over there. I don't want to know, but I know what it is.
Right.
I don't want to have any parts of it. But people are monetizing their sex on whatever their proclivities, you know, their what do you call it? Their passions.
I've never been on OnlyFans. I know
Uh,
I made a joke about it a couple weeks ago,
oh,
but yeah, I said I was gonna have I was gonna start an OnlyFans for my feet uh because of the government shutdown. Um I needed to get some money
what would your feet be doing?
because I needed a pedicure, and I said
Okay. To raise
there
money
was
for your feet because you need a
Mhm.
pedicure.
I said that there was probably a market for people who were looking at feet that
Have a
needed
foot
a pedicure.
fetish. Somebody might have a foot fetish. You could have some. No, I'm not gonna say that. Anyway,
I said there was probably a market for people who like looking at feet that need a pedicure.
you
That's
know,
what
there's people with all kinds of weird fetishes and stuff. So I'm
but
sure
no, that I
there's
mean
a
I
market
think
for
that
everything.
there's probably a decent market on OnlyFans that's not nasty, but I don't know because I've never
No,
been on
me
OnlyFans.
either. I don't. I will never. I can say this on air. I will never go on OnlyFans.
Right.
I don't want to know what's going on. Just hearing about somebody selling themselves like that for $1. It's creepy. I don't. Oh, I mean, how are you
Yeah.
gonna live that down later on?
Right. Right.
You're not gonna be. You can't be old on there. So what are you gonna do for there might be a market for old people. This might be so some people have sex with dead bodies, so you never know. I forgot what that's called, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of those isms, or it's it's one some
Well,
I
this
forgot what
conversation has taken a disturbing
it
turn.
has taken a turn. that we were able to make you laugh, Deborah. So see, sometimes you have to make things light. You have to keep it light because otherwise it'll get heavy really quick.
Yes.
So anyway, how can people get your books?
So the book is available on bkroyston.com.
Okay.
And it'll be on there. My contact information is also on there. So you can reach out to me personally, or you can just go out to the website and you can order it from there.
Okay. And also show us the cover of Hello Beautiful again.
Yes, ma'am.
I think. Now, who did your artwork for you?
I actually did the artwork on ChatGPT.
Oh.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
what were your prompts?
My prompts were like, first I did the setting of like set it in a spring time frame, and then it was more so of putting the emotion I wanted in the prompt of what I wanted the character to emote in that scene, and then it was African American families, African American young girl. Those are the type of prompts I put in.
Oh, okay. Well, it looks nice.
Thank you.
It came out very nice. I guess some of the imagery that you get from that, I haven't delved deeply into it, but I have used it for, in a limited way. But a lot of people are really using it for a lot of things,
Yeah.
And some people are using it to actually write books. So I hope that wasn't the case. But I believe the book should come from here in your heart.
Yes.
Whatever it is. And but again, people do things if they think it's going to be a quick buck, then
right.
They're doing that too. But thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for writing books to encourage people to put some positivity into their lives. And
yes, ma'am.
Let them know that there's always tomorrow. There's always tomorrow.
Yes.
So anyway, you have a great night. And
yes, ma'am.
Congratulations on your book.
Thank you. You ladies have a great night too, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Well, before we go, I do want to remind people about voting for the Black Authors Matter TV Awards. The finalists in 15 categories is 5 finalists in 15 categories. And we've already received over 1,300 ballots. The voting started a week ago today, and it ends a week in the future. So next Tuesday at midnight, the voting ends. So you still have plenty of time to vote for your favorites. And the award show is May 12th. And the whole night is just awards. And we have a grand time when we do the award show. If you've never seen one or been online with us live, make it a point to do it this time. So that's it for this week, and we'll see you on another episode of Black Authors Matter TV next Tuesday night. I'm Gwen Richardson signing off.
And I'm Dr. Rhonda Lawson. Have a wonderful evening and a great week.
Thank you for tuning in, and join us next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern for another edition of Black Authors Matter TV.